I can explain and show how 1 over b can be represented on a number line in two ways. The first way, as a number that is located a distance of 1 over b to the right of 0. And the second way is the size of each of the parts when a whole is partitioned into b equal parts. That sounds long and sounds complicated, but it's not. It's all right here for you. For example, if that fraction 1 over b is, say, 1/4, where b is 4. Well, if you look on a number line, you have 0 and you have 1. And in between, if you partition that into 4 equal parts, 1, 2, 3, 4, the first way is right here. From 0, 1. 1/4. That's the first way. So just putting 1/4 on a number line, one section of 4 equal away from 0, before 1, that's all it is. The second way is saying that 1/4 is also the distance from 0 to 1/4, and then from 1/4 to 2/4, that's 1/4, and this distance here is 1/4, which would be from 2/4 to 3/4, and from 3/4 to 1/2 is also 1/4. So the first way is just putting 1/4 right where it belongs, where you would count 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, and so on. The second way is to know the space. The space between these two marks is 1/4 long. 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, 1/4. That's it. Let's kind of review number lines and talk about this in a little more detail. Let's review number lines. So we have 0 and it goes all the way up in both, and it continues in both directions. Just kind of count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember, as you go to the right, you get bigger, and as you go to the left, you get smaller. And that's basically number lines, but when we're dealing with fractions and number lines, we want to zoom in to between 0 and 1. And between 0 and 1, if you split it into equal sections, in this case we have 1, 2, 3, 4 equal sections, well, the first mark represents 1/4. And if you go another mark, you've gone 2/4 total, but 1/4 from your last one. And then 3/4, and finally at 1, you'd have 4/4. So 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4. We usually just say 1 instead. Let's look at some examples and work them out. We have to represent a fraction in two ways on the number line. In this case, we're looking at this number line here on top. How many equal parts are there? 1, 2, 3. So you're dealing with thirds. And in the case of our learning target, we're doing 1 over 3. So the first one is going to be 1/3. And then the second way we represent it is the distance. So the distance from 0 to the first mark is 1/3. And 0 to the second mark, or not, and 1/3 to 2/3 is going to be 1/3. This here would be 2/3. And this distance here would be 1/3. So each one of these distances is 1/3. And this is specifically where 1/3 will be located on the number line. Let's represent 1/8. So b is going to be 8 now. We're going to take that number line. We're going to start it at 0, and we're going to end it at 1. Then we have to split it up into 8 equal parts. Watch carefully how I do this. I first split the number line in half, and then I split each half in half again. And now I have 4 equal parts, but I need 8. So I take each one of those fourths and split them in half again. And this is pretty close to 8 equal parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I need to represent 1/8 in two ways. The first way is go from 0 and count 1 tally mark. 1. Right there is 1/8. Now this would be 2/8, 3/8, and so on, but our focus today is just 1/8. And I also need to understand that from 0 to this mark is 1/8, and the distance between every single mark is 1/8. Between these two is 1/8. 1/8, 1/8, and 1/8. At the end, you should end up with 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 distances of 1/8, and then 1/8 itself is located here. So there's 2 different ways you need to be able to show a fraction on a number line. I can explain and show how 1/b can be represented on a number line in 2 ways. Draw and label 1/6 on a number line in both ways. So just like we did there with 1/8 and 1/3, I want you to do that with 1/6.